Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first and foremost, I figured I would let you guys know that I am doing a $1,500 exclusive XRP giveaway for everyone that is a watcher of the channel. If you guys do want to go check this out, you guys are more than welcome to check out the link in the description below as well as in the comments below. This is not like sponsored or anything. Like MEXC did reach out to me about this giveaway. You guys are not obligated to, jump into this or anything like that. You guys are more than welcome to check it out if you guys do want to. I have been supporting MEXC for a little bit of time now simply because of their no KYC up to like 20 Bitcoin, as well as the fact that they do not lock up any of the tokens, including like Casper, XRP, Hbar, QNT, and a lot of our favorite other tokens like A0 as well. So if you guys do want to go check this out, you guys are more than welcome to check out that link down in the description below as well as in the comments below. But today we are going to be talking about some other things around the current economic structure, more so the monetary policy that is being pushed, and that is the end of the dollar. So we actually do see here the writer is chair of Rockefeller International. Shout out to Anderson here. A post-dollar world is coming, and this kind of breaks down, who he is. In like 2015, Bloomberg ranked him among the world's, top 50 most influential people. Sorry, and then we do see within this article. So there's a few things in this that I found very interesting. First off, they do talk about the dollar surging recently. They also do say like what happened 2 decades ago suggests that the dollar is closer to peaking than rallying further. Even as U.S. stocks fell in the dot-com bust, the dollar continued rising before entering a decline that started in 2002 and lasted 6 years. A similar turning point may be near, and this time the U.S. currency's decline could last even longer. Now, we have actually been watching the dollar for a while. We've been discussing a few things specifically around the US dollar, and that is, the replacement of it. The world reserve currency, if you will, has been a big discussion around the XRP, community, talking about XRP being that, one world currency, the, bridge for all of the money, etc. I don't think that that is necessarily the case. I think that is a little bit of an illogical way to really kind of look at it. I think that XRP definitely does hold a pretty large role in the future monetary system, but I don't think that any specific asset within this market is going to grasp all of the money. Again, that is my opinion. I don't write anything off, though. I just think that there's a much lower percentage chance of that actually being the case. But we have been looking at the dollar, and we do see a few things in this article as well. Like finally, investors tend to move away from the dollar when the U.S. economy is slowing, or slowing relative to the rest of the world. In recent years, the U.S. dollar has been growing, or the U.S. has been growing significantly faster than the median rate for the other developed economies, but it has been poised to grow slower than its peers in coming years. If the dollar is close to entering a downswing, the question is whether that period lasts long enough and goes deep enough to threaten its status as the world's most trusted currency. And this is what we have been paying attention to. And there's one last quote in here, and that is the ending here, and that is, "This is not a vote of confidence in the U.S. economy, and it is worth recalling that bullish analysts offered the same reason for buying tech stocks at their recent peak valuations. There is no alternative. That ended badly. TINA is never a viable investment strategy, especially not when the fundamentals are deteriorating. So don't be fooled by the strong dollar. The post-dollar world is coming." And I would say like right now, as the dollar is rallying, we all know that this is going to come to an end. I've been watching a few things around the dollar, around the economy. We've been seeing a lot of links weakening along the board. We have been paying attention to what is happening overseas, specifically in China, and also a lot of the BRICS nations in general. And things are moving rapidly, specifically around gold as well. We are seeing stockpiling of gold. We are seeing an energy crisis break out. Liquidity crises are also starting to really kind of pop up around the world. Things are weakening, and I do believe that this is going to spiral out of control very soon. I would say within the quarter four of at the end of this year into about like quarter one of 2023, things are going to look a little bit rough economically. We are definitely looking to see if we are going to see the recession confirmation from the U.S. because of the 2 negative GDP quarters in a row. That is what I'm focusing on at this current moment in time. Now, we also do see a few things happening around CBDCs as well. We just seen a recent announcement. We're going to be jumping in on that in a second, but we do see here from Ripple, they are talking about central bank digital currencies and how they will play a critical role in the evolved modern global financial infrastructure that blockchain will underpin. Our webinar, shares the future of CBDCs, their impact on cross-border payments, and even the importance of interoperability. Now, we've been discussing this for a little bit of time. I think that when we look at the current economic structure, we will see a full-on shift in the landscape. We will see everything kind of changing going into this next 3 to 5 year span. That's the time frame that I'm looking at from what we have seen with like the World Economic Forum, with the Federal Reserve, even with ISO 222 as well. And I've been looking at this area for a while and studying this area for a while as well, because we have been seeing a lot of discussions around CBDCs. In fact, we actually do see even here, stop by the Ripple stand at the CBDC conference in Frankfurt, Germany, learn how Ripple CBDC private ledger can help central banks mint, manage, transact, and even redeem CBDCs. And this has been a specific thing to pay attention to around Ripple for a while. Like even going back last year, for an example, we did see, I think, 2 CBDCs being issued out on the XRP ledger, which was very interesting to see. And talking more so about that, we actually do see here Brad Garlinghouse says they have partnered with some central banks that they have yet to announce, who will, be testing the XRP ledger to issue their digital assets, CBDCs. And listen closely to this.
Look, I think that what we're seeing happen with stablecoins, we're seeing happening with central bank issued digital assets, I think is exciting. I'm not exactly clear how it's all going to play out. You're seeing countries experiment and test. Ripple has partnered with several central banks around the world. Some we've announced, some we haven't yet announced, that they're issuing and testing using the XRP ledger to issue their digital assets on the XRP ledger as a token. Look, I think that.
And just recently, I just talked to you guys about DLTs, right? I do believe that DLTs will be at the forefront of this new monetary policy, this new monetary system, if you will. And when we look at like interoperability, it's going to be an API gateway, which again really kind of takes me to Quant. I think that Quant is the one that has the most substantial background to it to actually be the chosen one for interoperability. I think that that's a pretty solid area to pay attention to around Quant. But when we look at DLTs, when we look at like the XRP ledger or even like Hbar, the biggest case for them is sustainability. And in fact, today we actually did see an announcement from not only the Hbar Foundation, but from MTech and even the Digital Dollar Project, which I just recently made a video on. But we do see like we're excited to follow MTech and their Hbar CBDC solution to be built out on Hbar as they go through the Digital Dollar Technical Sandbox program. And here you guys do see it. But then down here, we do see the official announcement. I actually have it open over here just so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Announcing the launch of our Technical Sandbox program, an important step to jumpstart exploration of CBDCs by testing a wide range of design choices and helping answer critical questions about the impacts of the potential U.S. CBDC with real-world data. Best part about this is that we have been discussing this area for over a year now since we did see the official Project New Dawn white paper from MTech. And you do see down here, MTech, Digital Asset, Nox, and even Ripple. This, to me, solidifies where Ripple is positioning themselves, as well as even Hbar. MTech will be utilizing Hbar closely. Like I said, this is all built out around, Hbar. It's built on Hbar. Where Ripple stands is more so cross-border payments. I tell you guys to pay attention to that market, with Ripple and XRP, because not only is it a $200 trillion market, they're projecting it by, I think it was like 2025 or 2027. Currently, it is sitting at about 156 trillion. I would argue that's probably a little bit more. It's probably around like 170 or so now. But that is a huge market to pay attention to with Ripple, because that is what their main focus point has been for the longest time. Now, does that mean that CBDCs should be, scratched off and say, hey, they're never going to see, CBDCs being issued out on the XRP ledger? No, absolutely not, because we've already actually seen this happen. But we do see a full-on breakdown of this, and we do see the Digital Dollar Project launches Technical Sandbox program to explore central bank digital currency infrastructure solutions. And a few things that they do mention in here is also, cross-border payments. In fact, We do see that the launch of its technical sandbox program to jumpstart further exploration of technical implementation, of a U.S. central bank digital currency. The program is, slated to begin in early October with the inaugural cohort focused on cross-border payments. Again, cross-border payments is the big focus point currently because it is a market that is ripe for disruption. And we do see the program will serve as the collaborative, space for the DDP participants and financial service providers, offering a neutral environment for the evaluation of technological, business, and even policy approaches to CBDCs. Program participants will examine real-world technology, explore potential implications to business strategies and even operations, and experiment to uncover possible use case-specific solutions. And they do, mention a few things down here. But the one that I looked at more so closely was this. We understand how important it is to include a diverse set of views and expertise as we look to answer key questions about how the technology could work, the problems we hope to solve, and the ultimate business and individual outcomes that we want to achieve. Remember, right? I said it time and time again that we will see a full-on collaborative space around a lot of these major names in the space. Hedera is not trying to compete with Ripple, and vice versa. The same way that I always said, like Ripple's not trying to compete with Stellar. They are going to be working in unison around the specific market, around the specific innovation, because this is a huge area of focus. You're not going to have just a one-size-fits-all approach here at all. Remember what I said just recently, going back, I think it was like maybe 3 videos ago or something like that. I said, like, this only happens once. This is the biggest push in history for a technological advancement. It is also one of the biggest opportunities that we have to date, that we've ever seen in our lifetime, actually, to be a part of something this big. And again, it's not only going to be tied to like 1 or 2 names. There's going to be significant amounts of names tied to this. You have, for an example, Stellar Lumens, Ripple, Hedera, Quant. That's just like a few of them. You also have like Zinfin, Algorand, IOTA, etc. So these are like the major names. But like I said, this infrastructure is going to be powered by giants, and these are the giants around the space that are going to be the makers within this infrastructure. Again, this landscape is going to change everything. This is going to be such a big push in time, not only to further innovation around technological advancements, but it's also going to usher us into a full-on new monetary system. And it is happening at a very rapid pace, like I said. Now, within this, we did see a few announcements as well just recently. I mentioned this one, with MTech, an award-winning software company and first of its kind modern central banking infrastructure provider, announced today the release of the Green CBDC framework to help central banks unlock unprecedented value in deploying a central bank digital currency, CBDC. Again, this is around, the green area. You do see what this means. Governing, for impact, reimagining trust through transparency, embracing sustainable use of energy in the digital world, empowering innovation with core infrastructure, and nurturing inclusive and resilient ecosystems. Now, how do you think that they are going to achieve that? They're most likely going to be utilizing Hedera as well for this, because Hedera is a carbon negative, DLT. But also, I do believe, like I said, Ripple will power the central bank, or not the central bank, the cross-border payment area within this. Now, does that mean that the digital dollar will not be issued out on the XRP ledger? It's hard to say. We don't have a full-on confirmation of anything with this. All we do know is that this sandbox itself, this testing arena, is built out on Hedera. Now, does that mean that Hedera is going to play a pivotal role here for the digital dollar issuance? Again, we don't have clear guidance to really kind of say 100% on that. So I'm not going to, scratch anything off. I'm not going to say, hey, this is 100% confirmed. All we do know is that things are moving into the testing arena, and we all know exactly what happens next. We do see pilots launching. We do see after that a full-on live CBDC, and it's most likely going to be within that 3 to 5 year time frame. It could happen sooner. We don't specifically know, but like I said, Ripple is going to play a role here very, very largely as well. And I do think that it is going to be centered around cross-border payments. I do think that this is, I would argue that this proves the fact that when you look at things happening around the SEC, it is all noise. Do not listen to the nonsense that is out there in this space. I've been focusing on the ledger aspect, for a while, the multi-ledger world that we are basically ushering into. I think that the new monetary system will be built out on multiple ledgers, private and even public. But the one that will play a pivotal role here would be Quant, being that interoperability bridge between all of them. But I do think that the on-demand liquidity area for Ripple with cross-border payments is probably one of the biggest areas to focus on if you are an XRP holder. I know that we do kind of get sidetracked with a few things like, the Federal Reserve with the FedNow service and stuff like that. I do think that instant settlement is the key, buzzword to focus on with a lot of those articles. But what I'm more so looking at is, the clear market that we are going after, and that is central banks or cross-border payments within central banks. And when we look at the central banks, they are exploring a lot of options around CBDCs, especially issuance of them, usability of DLTs, and the future of money and the monetary system. And I do think that it is going to be centered around a lot of these DLTs, like the XRP ledger, like Hbar, like Zinfin, like even XLM, etc. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.